Well, brace yourself now. Harry is going to release a documentary about his mother on Netflix. So far, this is just a rumor, but allegedly, according to a high ranking source who is called the head of production, Harry was offered to shoot a sensational documentary for the third anniversary of his mother's death. The anniversary will be in 2027. This project is planned to be solo for Harry. That is, without Meghan, he will be a co producer, a narrator, and a host. Nothing has been agreed upon or announced yet, but everyone seems to be very confident that this will be a new project for Sussex family. Hello to everyone, my name is Sandra and I'm happy to see you on my new TV channel. I try to do my best to give you the most juicy news and reviews. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. So let's return to the Sussex family. Yes, I tell it ironically, as I don't recognize them as a full royal family, as they refused from them, blamed in all problems of this world. Here is documental about Diana. So, the contract with Netflix, the old one, as I told you, will expire in the fall. But in fact, the only thing Harry can really interest Netflix and the public with is his mother. Not Paula, not Invictus, but his mother. And here, of course, it is about her personality and not about Harry's personality. If Meghan is still somehow dragging something along herself, then Harry is exclusively a plus one. To his wife, to his mother, to his brother, to his father, and so on down the list. The same source believes that the documentary could help Harry get back together with William. To be honest, I really doubt it. Something tells me that it will be just Wine and Harry, a group of nameless experts. Well, maybe he will propose one of the Spencers and get him or her to his project. I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no, but this doesn't smell like a sensation at all, but a one sided walkthrough. The only difference from the other documentaries will be Harry's personal participation. This will definitely attract attention, but how are they going to keep Meghan away from participating in this project? Even a vacuum cleaner won't help there. And still Harry is screaming about his visa. So let me describe you what's happening. In his memoir Spare, released in January 2023, Prince Harry candidly confessed to past indulgences with substances like marijuana, cocaine, and psychedelic mushrooms. While this added a dash of rebel flair to his royal narrative, it also raises eyebrows across the pond. You see, the US visa applications are notoriously nosy about an applicant's history with illicit substances, or when treating past drug use as a red flag that can derail one's American dream. And the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank with a penchant for stirring the pot. They filed a lawsuit demanding the release of Prince Harry's visa records, eager to uncover whether the Duke had been entirely forthcoming about his extracurricular activities or if he had perhaps received a royal pass. Their argument hinted on the public's right to know if US immigration laws were applied impartially without bending the rules for blue blood. The US Department of Homeland Security, however, played its cards close to the chest, releasing documents so heavily redacted they resembled modern art. These blacked out pages did little to quench the public's thirst for clarity but did confirm one thing. Prince Harry's privacy was being guarded with the zeal typically reserved. Judge Carol Nichols weighed in on the matter, ruling the Duke's privacy interest outweighed public's curiosity. In essence, the court decided that Prince or Popper once immigration records aren't up for public perusal without compelling reason. Despite the legal joustings and media frenzy, Prince Harry continues to bask in the Californian sun, his visa status intact. The Heritage Foundation's undeterred persists in its quest for transparency, but for now, the Duke remains ensconced in his American enclave, perhaps musing over the peculiar American pastime of turning bureaucratic procedures into public spectacles. To be honest, I knew it would be like this. The documents were, of course, published, but they were edited so much that on some pages only the prepositions were left unencrypted. And in some places, even their poor souls were not spared. Spoiler, that's all about this case. Don't even have to try to read it all. The only thing we learned from there was that the Biden government acted according to the law and there were no concessions. We were not given a quote of what Harry wrote about drug use, so whether he lied or not, we never found it. The whole point of this investigation was for the American public to learn the truth. But instead, they published documents that are so edited that conspiracy theories here emerged like there is something much more terrible there than Harry's talking fox coming from the eating mushrooms in the school toilet. So our very sorrow Harry will continue to sit on its ass in the US because the publication did absolutely nothing and the court's decision will probably be the same. Meanwhile, a whole media war is unfolding regarding Meghan. The Netflix show was frankly poor received. I've already made a deep review on her show, so if you see my channel for the first time, I just invite you to watch that video too. All description down below. So, as time passes on, we see news stories about Meghan's success. Here, Meghan's school photo. It was posted by the Catholic school where she attended. They just wanted to congratulate Meghan on her appearance on the show and launch of her podcast. And frankly, in my opinion, it looks like some kind of slap on to Meghan. They turned this congratulation into a lead-in that they were preparing for St. Mary's Day. At the same time, I highly doubt that without Meghan's approval, her photo would have ended up anywhere because it turns out she ran and quickly reposted thank you notes to the school. And oh, that's great. Next, Gwyneth Paltrow gave an interview to Vanity Fair and she encouraged Meghan. She standed with her. All women are her friends, and everyone has the right to try to do something. Try. Gwyneth 100% does not see Meghan as a competitor. That's crystal clear. So Gwyneth repeated, I don't know. Meghan and Harry. I mean, met Meghan. She seems nice, but I don't know her at all. Maybe I'll try to get past the nuances with their security and treat them to pie. That's a dig, right? Later, Gwyneth posted a video of herself cooking on her page. This was also seen as a jab at Meghan. A mug with a similar monogram, the same track that played on Meghan's show, and in general, Gwyneth's homely appearance compared to the whole task. And tabloids are like, that's it. This is third. And then Gwyneth posted a video on her page. At the top, they bring up a question about the third and are like, I don't understand what are you talking about. Do you understand? And they turn the camera to Meghan, who is sitting and eating a pie. Apparently, Gwyneth finally broke through Meghan's security ring and fed her. So, stories for 8 seconds and on 3 of them includes Meghan, during which she managed to demonstrate her inability to act and play, also some kind of talent. It's a pity because the idea is cool, but where did she, Where did the question come from that so timely? Gwyneth, of course, is great. She used the news item about the third in time. But no one will convince me that Gwyneth does not make Meghan seriously. She's not a competitor, and that's all. That's why she can't afford such flirting. And we'll see, of course, where this will lead. The main thing is not to candies with specific smells from Megan because the shamans would not be far away. By the way, they are now in the same handshake with him. I don't know, maybe one day we'll find out that Megan is in this deal too. But let's be real, Gwyneth, with her famously complicated persona, might just end up hooking up with Meg. I mean, they both share that unmistakable craving to drape themselves in gold while chilling in their loungewear, and come on, everyone was raving about Gwyneth's chain, right? But don't get too comfortable. The very next day after Gwyneth's interview, Netflix boss Ted Sarandos spilled the tea to Vanity. And by the way, both here and in Vanity Fair, the headline screams Gwyneth Megan. Yes, she's channeling Meghan Markle vibes. Look, don't expect anyone to devour Megan Sussex just yet. When pressed about businesses, collaborations, Ted was asked two straightforward questions. His answer? They're just passive partners with Megan. It's not really their gem. As he said that Meghan is underrated in terms of her cultural influence when they released the trailer for the Meghan and Harry documentary. The press went crazy. Everyone brought up her shoes and even the blanket that was hanging on the chair. He said that people are fascinated by Meghan Markle. She and Harry are too rejected. In general, Ted is well aware of the not always positive reaction to Meghan on an emotional level. But at the same time, there are a lot of people who run to buy her shoes and blanket. And Netflix will continue to make money on this. So we will have a second season of the Meghan show and a Harry show and a lot of merch and so on until people finally stop obsessing over them, which, let's face it, is a long way off. The whole saga got a slick polish from none other than photographer and black and white filter connoisseur Mission Harriman. Yes, the friend of Meghan and Harry. According to Mission, British tabloids are the real haters there, devoting way too much airtime to Meghan instead of focusing on more pressing matters. After all Megan's really doing is protecting her kids. But don't worry, we'll be clicking back to the story sooner or later. As for the tabloids, it's the same old song and dance as with the inventors. The sports pages cover sports, political news sticks to politics, and showbiz, especially the royal section, obsesses over royals, Meghan included. With all that endless hypocrisy, she's basically handed them all the cards on a silver platter. Well, to be honest, I also sometimes get irritated by the avalanche of articles that harp on the same old stuff and don't really say anything. Villains, so to speak, are needed in every column, and the royal family gives very little reason to discuss it because that's what they want. So there's absolutely nothing to be surprised about here. Some stories are starting to play out in a new way. For example, former Vanity Fair editor Gregory Carter, who put Meghan on the cover in 2017. He said that he had no idea who Meghan was and why they needed her. Only the fact of her relationship with Harry inclined him to approve. During the interview, she asked, "Excuse me, is this all going to be about Prince Harry? And I thought we were going to talk about my charity." You, my dear, didn't know that they invited you only because of Harry, did you? And Carter later replied, "This woman doesn't really distinguish between her dreams and the reality. The story is certainly not new, It has been told somewhere before, but directly from a participant in the event. But this is something new. Carter himself knew Princess Diana and was one of the organizers of the event in the gallery where Diana came in her famous dress of revenge. He said that Diana would have experienced grief having learned that someone separated her son from his family, in particular from his brother and father. But this is not the first time Carter has gone after Meghan. Previously, he said that their marriage would not last long. Harry's usefulness to marriage decreases with each passing day, and if the Real Housewife of Montecito show is released, then Meghan would be the most suitable option. And what about Megan herself? Every day or every other day, she is out there posting the same kind of Garden City snaps. Sure, sometimes her kids make a cameo, or at least half a cameo if you squint hard enough. And on Mondays, it's all holiday vibes, but only from behind, naturally. I couldn't help but laugh at that comment from one of the followers. Oh, how lovely look at those backs. They've really grown up, haven't they? The filter's super weird too. The whole shot is dark, even though Archie and Lily are obviously redheads. Apparently, using your kids in photos is a hot button issue. Some folks are really offended. I mean, what's the big deal? Megan can't just post pictures of her kids and if they're only showing their backs. That's a nod to privacy. Privacy is one thing, especially if you're cashing in on those posts as part of some money making project. But it's not like her soul suddenly decided to keep them 100% out of the spotlight. First it was stories, now it's posts, and that's that. And the fact that after the photo with the kids followed the launch of Megan's new page is just a wild coincidence. Actually, as always, you doubt it. You are just haters, racist, sexist, and envious people. In any case, the page on Shop My, where Megan's posted numbers of things, clothes, shoes, jewelry with links to stores. What is it? This is a popular site for influencers. Like you want a blouse like mine, here's the link. Here what I dress. Do you need to comment on the color scheme? Here you go. And already know everything. Megan of course was royally coded. 5 years have passed and bright colors have not appeared in her clothes. Cosmetics were added to the page later. But Megan, of course, was modest and posted things mainly priced at $100 to $400. There are more expensive ones. A bag for 700, for example, and this one, by the way, came in for it because it was sewn by poor African woman for pennies. Their brands are known as. There are brands unknown to us. There are dresses from Megan friends Tracy James. There are very few things that I can remember directly about Megan, and literally a couple of brands I know. Veronica Beard or Ray-Ban glasses. This is all a faceless beige mess, which probably went through the Duchess contracts because the links are affiliated. For each click, she gets either a click or a sale. Well, there's definitely some kind of contract here. But here's the real kicker. Check out how frugally chic my wardrobe looks. I'm Megan, yes, the very same Megan as you. So, dear Megan Sussex, where are where our must have links to those Cartier earrings, Aquazura cakes, Joanna Artist germs, Carolina Herrera assembles, and Hermes slippers. What's up? Did you stop wearing them, or are we missing the memo? And why do I say Megan Sussex? Because look at the page name. The initials MS are shortened for Mississippi or Miss. They're all about Megan Sussex. Come on, spill the tea on your looks lineup. It's none other than Megan Sussex, so she still goes by Duchess. They've been dropped a podcast teaser, but honestly, there's nothing to dissect yet. We will just sit tight until next week. Meanwhile, the stories keep rolling in. One minute I'm whipping up deserts with friends into some smooth jazz. The next, the next, each is hour they're filming birds and me, Megan posted it. Oh, Megan, darling, mix it up a little because my poor head can't handle the same old routine until October. That's all for today, guys. Please subscribe, give me thumbs up, and see you the next video. Bye.